How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Adrock and I'm back with another Atlas Reactor video, but not a freelancer breakdown. So lately, as I'm waiting in between matches, I keep talking to people and we have the inevitable, oh my god, I did pay to win, blah, 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 blah. It's a discussion I'm not going to tackle today. The more important thing I want to tackle is people asking in chat constantly, what does this mean? Where can I find it? What's up with the Fog of War? So, I'm going to do my best today to tell you about the stats, what characters typically will use those statuses, what to expect from those statuses, and a little bit of Fog of War. If I'm wrong, please let me know, give me some feedback. I'm trying to base this off what I've seen from playing. There's not really an official source on the Fog of War that I can recall, but statuses, there is an option to look for it in-game. I'm just going to go over it and explain a little of what to expect. So, if you are just getting into Atlas Reactor, whether through free or open beta, or you bought it, right now I'm talking about it through beta, so this might change, but if you log in, it'll be like a what's new panel. You can click on that and it'll give you a welcome to closed beta as of right now. It'll tell you what statuses are there and whatnot. So I'm going to go over what they are and then Fog of War. So we're going to go over buffs and then debuffs. So buffs you're going to commonly witness are might. Might on the actual battlefield will have a red orb indicator. Every time you cross over it, it'll give you a 25% damage increase. It'll last for 2 turns. Not only that, but there are other characters that have might caked into their kits without modifications. As of this beta, at this mark of this video, Pup is the only one on the roster that has a baked-in might ability. Everyone else will have to gather it through modifications. Another buff is haste. Every time you go over haste on the battlefield, it's a blue orb. When you cross over it, it'll give you a 50% movement range increase for about 2 turns. Characters that have haste caked into their kits without modifications include Rampart. To keep the theme train going, the next buff is Unstoppable. If the character has Unstoppable on them, they are immune to knockbacks, roots, and slows, meaning they're just going to go wherever they damn well please. Characters that have Unstoppable caked into their kits are Oz and Rampart. ENERGIZE is the next one on the list. It's an odd one, people see it but they don't quite know what it does. So if you are energized at any point in the game, you get 1.5 times the amount of energy gain you use through abilities. So if you have an ability that gives you 10 energy per use, you now get 15 energy per use. On the battlefield, if you see a yellow orb and run over that thing, it'll give you energize for 2 turns. Characters that have energize baked into their kits are Quark. Stealth is the next one. Basically, you're invisible. You fade out for a moment when you shoot or take damage, but until your invisibility is either broken, you are revealed, or you end your stealth, no one can see you. This also technically ties into the Fog of War, but we'll get into that a little later. Characters that have stealth baked into their kits are Pup and Nyx. And quite simply for statuses, healing is you heal. Either heal for 10 or 15 health if you use a power-up or a second wind. If you pick up the power-up on the battlefield, that is a green orb that lasts typically about 2 turns. Moving on to our debuffs, we have Weak. Weak, if you get hit with it, gives you a 25% damage decrease on your abilities. A thing to note, might and weakness, they cancel each other out. They do not stack. If you get hit with might and then you hit someone with weakness, that same person, they now just go back to their baseline as 0. Nothing is modified, nothing is reduced, nothing is increased. Characters that have weakness baked into their kits are Gray, Titus, and Aurora. Slow is next, and just like the cancellation of might and weak, haste and slow counter each other. Slow will give you a 50% movement decrease, and if that person has haste and you hit them with slow, it brings them back into their normal movement range. It doesn't matter, they cancel each other out. Characters that have slow baked in their kits are Elle, Nyx, Garrison, Titus, Rampart, and Dr. Finn, making slow probably the most commonly seen status effect in the game currently. Root is essentially slow's bigger brother. Instead of slowing you down, it just stops you. You have no way to move unless you use a dash like a blink or movement ability dash. So there's that. Characters that have Root baked into their kits are Gray and Asana. Scrambled is just like ENERGIZE in the fact that people don't quite know what it means and they're confused by it. You see a little mute ellipsis above your head and you hap it. And when you're scrambled, the only thing you can do until it wears off is your primary abilities and your catalysts. Characters that have Scramble baked into their kits are Helio and Pup. Being revealed means that enemies can see your location no matter what. Doesn't matter if you personally go invisible or if you go into the Fog of War. Until the revealing debuff is taken off you, everyone can notice you. It's kind of a death sentence for some characters. Characters that have revealed baked into their kit are Gray, Pup, Titus, Quark, and Dr. Finn. Knockback is a displacement move that only occurs at the end of blast phase and will cause any freelancer hit by knockback to lose their movement that round and move accordingly to where their enemy pushed them. Freelancers that have knockback kicked into their kits are Aurora, Gremolitions Inc., Rask, and L. Pull works exactly the opposite of knockback, where instead of pushing an enemy away, you pull them towards you in the direction you so desire. The displacement effect occurs at the end of blast phase and will cause freelancers to lose their movement that round. Freelancers that have pull baked into their kits are Pup, Helio, and Rampart. And finally, if you have been playing Atlas Reactor or watching the videos, you'll notice two specific things that obscure vision in this game. They are the Fog of War and Invisibility Tiles. Fog of War is simply that. If you played an RTS or you played a turn-based action game where people get obscured until you see them in proximity, that's what it is. If you are outside of someone's Fog of War, you cannot see them or they cannot see you do your actions until you are revealed close enough to them or until they come into it, or characters like Celeste in her smoke screen will physically block the screen view of a player. Likewise, invisibility tiles will help block a player's vision to a degree. So the way these invisibility tiles work is on the battlefield, you will see little shining white outline tiles. They'll have a little glow and sparkles that fly around them. Ooh, so pretty. Those are the invisibility tiles. Whenever you go into one of those and it's just you or an ally, if it's just you, you're going to be invisible to anyone that didn't see you walk in there. They can kind of guess where you're at by shooting at you, but your character becomes opaque, just an outline, and you're, for all intents and purposes, invisible. Not immune to damage, but invisible. If an ally's in the same field you are in, you can see each other, and if I believe, you can see them no matter what on the field of battle. It gets tricky whenever enemies are around. So anytime an enemy has field of view on you and you're in an invisibility field, it doesn't matter. If they're in the field with you, you're noticed. You're just going to be noticed. If a ability kind of shines a light on it, some of them, like Nyx, have an ability that let you put a tracer round in there or a sentinel in there that'll obscure it. You're not instantly seen, but you pass over it, it'll show you. Also, as well, if you use an ability while you're inside the invisibility field or invisible, you'll briefly be seen if it hits somebody. It's still a little tricky and it's still a little odd. The first few times you play with a invisibility field, it'll look really weird. It'll feel really weird, and even then, now I still get confused. Like, oh, can they see me or not? If it's red, there's a very, very good chance that they'll be able to see you, or you're being close to being revealed, or yeah, fuck, you're screwed. And if you are revealed, you have the revealed status effect on you, it doesn't matter. You are going to be seen no matter what until that thing drops off of you. So keep that in mind before you think your salvation will be in an invisibility field or in the Fog of War, because if you're revealed, it doesn't matter how far you run, you did. Or quite possibly did. And that's it. That's me, Adrock, with another Atlas Reactor video. So if you have any critiques or questions, or you want to make a comment on the video that I need to make an annotation for, let me know in the comments, on Reddit, on the video, wherever you find this video. It'd be great to hear your feedback. I want to make all these Atlas Reactor videos great for anyone that watches them. Until then, I'll see you guys later.